What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, cloud swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you guys survived yesterday, and we are almost at the end of the week. It's Thursday already, man. This one is flying by, but we got good morning to Alex, Andy, Bill. Good morning, Brian, Carolyn. Good morning, Dale. Eric Gina's in the house. Good morning. Jason P. King, Jay Leonard, Jill's in the house. Good morning. LW, my boy Lucian, rocking with us this morning. Good morning to Martino, Rock, Ron, Win, Wale. Whew. Make sure you guys flip those little chat panels to everybody so everybody can see your greatness. All my peeps in YouTube land, good morning. We got Richard Jett commenting. For everybody else that's sitting there in the background, just sitting there quietly, make sure you guys hit the like, subscribe, and hit that little notification bell, and you guys can check out all the free content that we post out on YouTube. Plus, just venture over to reallifetrading.com. We got all the beginner, intermediate, and advanced courses. And then we got the SPY. We got the SPY right here. What are we gonna do? Here, let me take a survey. Let me take a survey. If you are bullish, type 1. If you are bearish, type 2. Out of curiosity. Ron says 1, Chuck's 1, David's 1, Jay Linder's a 3. But I don't know. Maybe that identifies as a 1 or 2 because everybody else is coming in with a 1. I don't know. Remco's got a 1. All right. So, all right. Meeting's over. We're just bullish, I guess. Just that's it. I don't know if Gino is going with a 1 and a 2, or she's like walking that little fence. So she's going half. So that's like half bullish. I don't know. Here's what I would say. We got, it's kind of a little bit confusing, but also maybe not. So let's see if we can break it down. 413.56. Are we above it? Yes or no? Answer's no. Did we close above it? Again, answer's no. We got rejected off of that 413.56. However, let's take a look real quick at something. I think I was pointing this out to Ron last night in the mentor group. By the way, we do have mentor groups that are open. I'm going to use the opportunity to do a cheap plug. I don't care. I don't care. Especially you guys at YouTube land. You're free. I mean, that's free. We got Peggy came in with 1. Richard said 2. I think Richard Jett, you might be the only 2 right now. Okay. Ola said 1. All right. So, not above it. Not above 413.56. All right. That's going to contain some excitement a little bit. But we are still above a lot of these different VPOCs. We have one more maybe to retest down at like 411.48. That's going to be my line in the sand. So if we start breaking 411.48, okay, yeah, we might start giving some of this back. We will see. But because then we have really nothing to stop us. Next target down to like 406.95 and 405.29. So imagine you guys are bullish, which most of you guys are bullish right now from the amount of 1s that came in. If you were bullish and we start hitting this line, we got the 10 EMA starting to roll in on us. We got all these moving averages to kind of support us up. You better believe that this is a pretty fierce and nasty drop down, and that's going to make everybody feel some kind of way. So that's got to be the heavily protected area. So right down there is going to be absolutely key. Let's do one more thing. Let's come into question is where do we want to start and end it? I think we have to go from the beginning of this move to the end, right? So what I'll do here is kind of measure this line. Right, so this is kind of where we really started to pump. And all of this is just kind of sitting there, hanging out until we had that little gap up, small little double top. And this is pretty much where we stopped that run. So, okay, let's do a quick fib from high to lows. Let's also make this a little bit bigger. It's a little too big. All right. Just to see where a decent pullback, if we're all going to be bullish, where that would actually come in. Get it from somewhere here to probably there would make some sense. All right. So it looks to me like we've got, I don't know what that is, 411.72 and 411.06 is a 618. So I'm going to just map these out just to keep a good reminder as to where we're at, where we could bounce. And those would be very strong bounce locations if we do bounce, right? So obviously this market's a little wild and every day is a different adventure. But I agree. I mean, that's two things about yesterday, right? We came into the day bullish. Right, we came in absolutely bullish with the CPI reports. We gapped up sentiment all day bullish. Not all day. This is us giving back some of those gains. Down here is a little bit of a trap, and we just kind of squeezed everybody on out. Anybody that was like, all right, this is reversing. Short all day. Last hour of day, we rampage back. So we're approaching that 50% retracement now. I'm going to leave that on my screen for most of the days, at least those two lines, just to know kind of where we should get that bounce. And I'm thinking right around here will be bounce number one. We're below this kind of 412.69. So a little bit of a chop out of the gate. But ultimately, if we could get down at this 411.06-ish or 411 something, this line right here, that should give us, if we're going to stay bullish, I want to watch that line very, very heavily to see if that bounce comes in. Right? Qs. Flip it to a daily. It's probably going to be pretty similar to yesterday. I mean, the charts are almost identical on the 5-minute. We do know tech is a little bit stronger. Disney had earnings last night. Not that Disney's completely tech, but one of their biggest things on Disney Plus is they lost 4 million subscribers. And I think when Netflix reported, they gained 1.6. So I don't know if it has anything to do with they fight with DeSantis. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's just the content isn't like they're not really there yet. Like, yeah, they had the whole Disney Vault, but also they've also put out like we've seen those movies. Netflix has got a lot of new content, so maybe it has to do with the content. I would probably gather a guess to say that's probably content related, where people are like, do I really? If I had to choose one, do I just watch a lot of the older stuff and barely any new stuff on Disney? They got some. Or do I catch Netflix, which is putting out a show every 12 and a half seconds? Yeah, I'm going to probably pay for Netflix. So right now, Disney is down a little bit. The Qs hasn't really fallen as much. So the Qs still look strong. Google yesterday, they did have the Google meeting and or conference, investor conference, whatever it was. They got some pretty cool stuff, I will say. I mean, they got some new developments to some pictures of some cool things you can do. They have Google Maps, which they're kind of redoing with AI. And some of it does look really cool. It looks pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. But then their big thing, I think, is that they also had the flip phone. And then realistically, it doesn't matter what product they come out with. They did finally go to business school. They got some good pointers and some tips and just mentioned AI 1 million times. And that was probably enough to catapult Google. So that's going to help out tech a little bit. But yeah, tech is still hanging in there. It's not doing horrible. It's not pulling back as much as the SPY. So we probably have tech to a little bit of a stronger side. If you guys do have stocks and tickers you want me to take a look at, you could go ahead and type those into the chat pane. We'll cover those as much as possible. I say as much as possible because I don't want to set the expectations too high. That's it. Ron says great mentor group. Yeah. Rock says content. Yeah, I think the content is not really. Keep in mind, I mean, Disney, as old of a company Disney is, they're still newer to streaming. You still have to. I mean, Netflix only really became profitable in 2020 during COVID. Think about that. That's wild. They were around for what? Was it 20 years? They came out in 2000, I think, something like that. Maybe before with the DVDs, which they finally, by the way, that was a surprise to me on Netflix. See, this is why I like earnings. Earnings, they're like, we're going to cancel the DVD distribute. I'm like, I could have been getting some DVDs this whole time. I didn't have to go out and buy a DVD player now. I don't know. I thought they stopped that a while ago. All right, you got Disney. So Disney is gapping down. again, it's Disney. That's a pretty horrific gap. We are gapping below a lot of different candles. Probably could go a little bit more if we have not already, but that would be about 94.21 should be the bounce spot. Let's see if we hit that yet. Not quite yet. So maybe a little bit of a down move. Honestly, you probably have better risk reward, although not. I don't know if it's gonna be my favorite trade today. We'll see though if we want to take it. But yeah, if Disney could come down a little bit more, I think I get good risk reward on the trade, and then possibly. For the long term, we're not at my price yet. I still got roughly anywhere. Roughly, I really want to get it around $75, but I'll probably go 80, start buying something like that. But so not quite. But red days make me smile. All right, we got TTD. If Square breaks this level, all right, we'll take a look. I love that line. If it breaks this level, and then just 3 dots. It's like that cliffhanger in movies. Yeah, but what's gonna happen? All right, TTD. In gapping up, it does have a little bit of resistance where this thing is gapping. It is technically a gap and go, but we've run up into the gap and go as well. So coming into resistance, I would either look to fade this thing down, or wait for it to come down and then try to go along if you want to take that approach. So obviously, option 2, the latter of those two, is requiring a heck of a lot of patience. TTD probably at open. Yeah, we're right into that little volume area now. So if it goes a little bit higher, I'd be looking for something like the $70.84 zone. But this is a really good rejection spot too. So you got some good volume here. If you're going to play, it probably stops would be about 71.61. So yeah, if it could go a little bit higher, that'd be tremendous. Then we come in with some tighter stops and could play this thing for a fade. But I kind of like it for the fade. It is a good gap though. Looks like it is up on earnings. They beat on both. 18 million in revenue and surprise beat earnings per share, 10 cents per share. So not too horrible on that one. Definitely one to watch. Let's scroll this one up a little. I don't know if I want to play it out of the gate, but we could definitely watch it and see if anything interesting happens. Let's see what's going to happen on that. What's going to happen on that ... I don't know. One day we'll be like, hey, remember there was this company that was called Square, and then people are like, what's Square? And you're like, nah, they changed it to Block. And you're like, well, that was probably a good move. How'd they do stock-wise after they changed their name to Block? Oh, they went out of business. Okay. All right, so moral of the story, don't change. Square could probably use the word AI a few more times. But yeah, they're still getting absolutely clapped. Still into this very, very heavy support zone. So while I do agree that this is going to be a little bit of a nightmare, this is a retest gap. Coming into very, very good support. And it does have 2 levels on it. So two levels where if it breaks this level, one is this little one right here. Right. And that's probably the level you're talking about. But then we do come into this zone back here, and anywhere from here to here is going to be chop fest. And we probably hang out in the zone for a little bit. And then this line right here, which is completely a straight line. I don't even want to hear arguments. That's the straightest line you could possibly draw. If that one breaks down, then yeah, we could add a couple more dots to the end of that. But for right now, we are in a little bit of a zone that people might be interested in buying. Looks like I'm bored. Shopify for Ron. We got Square. Let's cover Amazon for Dale real quick. AMZN. I think we also had Scott in YouTube land. Trying to cover that one too. The Zon. I am bullish on Zon. I think yesterday somebody's like Amazon. I'm like, without even looking, bullish. Just bullish. It is a retest gap. I kind of like that we're clearing those 2 pivots. You got one more little spot somewhere around 112.20. So that would be your immediate target where you're going to get some kind of resistance. Next one takes us to about 114. So again, I do want to see a red candle out of the gate on this one. The market has not been giving me so many of those red candles. So we might even be able to look for some kind of a pre-market break or something like that, which we'll check out before we hop off of the YouTube land. We'll see what we can find. But Amazon does look good. I still like it bullish. Depends on where we could get in bullish. That would be my only thing. Look at this trade I set up that I definitely don't think I took. I don't know if it's probably a day trade. All right, Shopify. Shopify should be a little bit of a retest gap. You're gonna hit heavy resistance somewhere around 6307. So really not a great look for them, but you do have support right around 6171. So could be a little bit more choppy today if it starts to break down, or if you think this thing is going to break down. And I would almost do something like this too on this. Let's fib it up. You got to fib it up, and don't you know, fib it up. 50% retracement would take us to 55.98. And then we got the 618 at 53.70. So those would be my two spots. And if we just want to take it from the gap, which is obviously going to be our first kind of fill, and look at this one, 59.74. And then that 618 looks pretty delicious. 58.35. That takes you to a VPOC. That takes you at the 618. You got some multiple reasons. So for right now, I like this fib a lot better because there's kind of a couple of things that line up into it. But yeah, so you have some room to at least pull back. That's 3 strong, massive days. You have 1 inside rest day. Maybe a little bit of a reversal, 3-bar reversal setup at least. That would be opening here, closing here. And you do have some action there. So a little bit of a potential 3-bar reversal. Not the cleanest, but and then that should take you down to this 58.35 zone. But again, do you really want to fight bulls? I don't know. They've been pretty intense. So yeah, I think that one does look a little bit weaker. We'll see if we can catch maybe if we need to short something that looks like it's got some potential for that one. Yeah, I don't know on this one about the gap fill, honestly. It's probably a gap that we'll fill at some point. It's not going to be the easiest gap to fill. You do have all those moving averages in the gap right now. So especially the longer this thing takes to break down, you're going to come in with that support, and you got a bunch of levels that will. So I don't necessarily know that I would eye this gap down yet. More than likely, I think what happens is we do probably get some kind of a pullback. That would make sense. I mean, in my head, that would make sense. In reality, who knows? But something like this, either double top, 1 new higher high, and then maybe over time, this gap will fill. But I don't know very, very quickly if that thing comes in for a fill. We will see. One of your favorites, Peloton. That is my favorite. Peloton's my favorite stock. I don't. One day. Yeah, it's just everybody likes the underdog. And this thing is under the dog for sure. You cannot get any lower. This is all-time lows? Yeah. The fact it's not at 0, I mean, I think that's a win by itself, to be honest, in this one. But yeah, Peloton is that's a gross looking gap. It's got it. I mean, it's now $6.71. Has to be my favorite short. Love it if we get a little bounce first into this almost $7 range, $6.93. I mean, it's got nothing to save it. Take a look at Google. Yeah, there's only one way. I can't play that one long ever. So Google, nice little gap up into very, very, very strong resistance. Keep in mind, and strong day yesterday. I would imagine we come in for a retest first. which would also kind of line up with my theory that maybe we get that little bit of a pullback. We'll see what the SPY is at open, but oops, some kind of retracement down, and then I think this play continues bullish. Maybe we do sell a little bit, take some profits on a good gap where people are getting in, especially people that were like, hey, Google's having a conference today, maybe we should go bullish in case they say anything cool. And they said AI, and that's cool enough. So yeah, a little bit. Target high would be 116.58 for now. So probably do have a little bit better risk reward shorting. I don't want to short this thing, so I'd much rather this thing come down first, and then we look for long opportunities on Google. We'll throw this one a little bit higher on the list too. We got APP. If you're down with APP, yeah, you know me. Apple loving. Looks really good. Only thing I don't like is this little blue line. I believe that's like the 200. So we're at that now. Probably looks for a fade first. At least that's what I got to hope for. I can't play this thing bullish. That's a pretty massive gap for it. But if it does want to run, you're looking at, and again, not today, I don't think, but 25.69. This is an earnings miss. So they surprise beat on revenue, missed earnings per share, and you're getting a crazy gap. I would love to see this thing. I don't know if it does, but I would love to see this thing retest a little bit further. And then you have a kind of a double bottom, higher lows, retest, and then take it up. But definitely one to watch for sure. I'd have to wait for some kind of retest, or it's got to give me a cool candle out of the gate. And then if it gives me what I would love to see, and I don't know if it happens, but what I would love to see on this thing is if you have a nice red candle where the top of that red candle is slightly above that 200. So somewhere where it's at now. So open fade could get in $20.96, something like that. If it breaks, that would be the play, because now you're also breaking that moving average. You're breaking a big red candle. You have some room to the upside. So I like it. Let's see if we could add it to the list, and we'll push it up. Just if it gives me that open, great. Otherwise, it does look good long. It just would have to pull back a little bit first. Roblox with another dollar gap up. It's growing on me. It's growing on me. I don't understand anything Roblox. I was more of the Lincoln Log generation, but Roblox seems cool too. But yeah, nice little gap up. You got that 200 right in your face. Technically green candle, but if you shorted this thing anywhere yesterday, you're losing. Probably looking at immediate targets of $40.42. Next one takes you up to about $40.79. So we'll see. We got Roku or OKU. The Roasters. Kind of just hanging out. Yeah, I probably wouldn't. At least I wouldn't play this one out of the gate. Still, it's gap and go. Technically, still just inside day. I think you have some more action. And somebody's asking, how should we play Disney today? So I know we looked at it. I don't know if we really set anything up on it, but this would be. You're in the middle of everything right now. So what I would like to see is first of all, I'd probably not play it out of the gate for me. I would have to wait and then see if we come down a little bit more into this 94 and change zone. Then I would look to go long. So I think this thing could get bought up. I would love to see it just sell a little bit further. So it's got a little bit more ways to go. Roblox is a summertime stock. Then you told me Beyond Meat was a summertime stock too. Unfortunately, most of its business is in Alaska. All right, we got Oxy. Yeah, Oxy probably gets some more continued selling. I think Teddy Bear Buffett's going to be buying it up eventually, but maybe not yet. Yeah, Oxy would be a good short. We're kind of at that last spot that like kind of has to hang into, but if not, I don't even know where this thing could honestly drop to. I'm starting to run out of levels on it. I guess the next one down will be about 55.71. I don't know if I have Oxy on the list. Let me add that. Doesn't look great. The big thing with Oxy, they don't hedge. They don't hedge against their positions. They kind of just take the brunt of the oil. So as oil's coming down, ExxonMobil and Chevron and all those guys, they'll actually hedge against their oil positions. So they'll pay a little of the insurance money, and then as the price comes down, they're still good. Oxy doesn't do. Memorial Day is beyond now. Now I know it's very specific. They have that one day. Pretty strange for a company just to target one holiday. But I guess Christmas is a big business. Halloween's a big business. So they're like, you know what? We should be the Memorial Day guys. You got VLO. Gapping down, still inside. You do have a little bit of support. Probably would look to buy this thing up. Maybe somewhere around this 109.35 zone if we could get there, which it should. It's only 50 cents away. So yeah, if this thing comes down a little bit further, I would be looking. You're below all moving averages, but you do have a little bit of a double bottom. You got some high volume on yesterday's candle. Haven't really broke it, so putting a stop somewhere. I would even go on stop at like 106.90. So the lower you could get, throw that stop at 106.90. If that candle breaks, But yeah, if that candle breaks, you probably start continuing down lower. So the lower you get to it, throw your stop definitely below yesterday's candle. And the reason I went a little bit lower is because you do have some VPOCs there. So maybe like comes in, tries to wick people. So trying to get as close to like 106.90, 106.96, something like that would be a decent stop on it. NVIDIA, man, we almost made it the whole day without anybody saying NVIDIA. AI. Yeah, it's at the highs still of this big massive run. Not really anything crazy happening, just sitting at that VWAP or VPOC from yesterday. Still inside day candles. Still got some room to the 10 if this thing does want to pull back. But it's chop zone. All those two candles really just resting candles, and this is the one to play. I don't think if anybody did buy this thing, they're really freaking out yet. So probably not one to probably stays in this range for a little bit. I have 299.34 as my target. So it does have some more upside potential to this thing. At least from what I'm seeing. Oh, no, not the bell already. Everybody out there in YouTube land, thank you for joining us each and every day. And don't forget to check out Real Life Trading. We do have all the free content. Also, if anybody's not aware, we have that big retreat in Orlando coming up very, very shortly. Head over to Real Life Trading. There's lots more details, way more than I can fit into this little 12